We are here, we are here, we are here on this amazing day. Okay, everyone, this is Cam Jones, FX Daily Analysis, and we are marking up INSP. We are in the monthly time frame. Price action, last candle to the right hand side is a bullish green candle with a long wick down to the bottom. So market look like it's retesting that second last candle, which would be the midpoint of a formation of a pattern that could be pushing up to new levels of highs. Currently look like it's sitting at second level highs to reach an overall highest high of structure of resistance. Price, we do have price action overall, higher highs overall. We do have price action overall, lower lows, midpoint, also adding second level highs, and also adding third level highs. So let's zoom in the price. So price action is currently sitting at 256.11. So if price work its way up, it can tag that resistance line at 269.29. Before tagging that resistance line, I can tag that midpoint of current price and the line we just read sitting at 262.69. If price decides to reverse, price can tag the support line, which it would be second level highs at 238.77. And before tagging that line, you can tag that midpoint right below price at 248.73. So let's take a look at what's going on overall. So we can see that price action bullish green candle is near the overall highest high of that resistance line. You see that the market broke into that midpoint line. So when that market did break into that midpoint line, it did come back to retest. It created an overall pattern of that first, second, third, fourth retest. Market pushed up from a double bottom and a retest, or a double bottom and a retest, or overall triple bottom. So we can see that price action also within that area of right below price, we do have that W formation, first, second, third, fourth. So we have that W, and we can see that market broke the midpoint of the resistance and support. So we can see that that second last candle did came back to retest that, price action came back to retest the second last candle push up. Price action came back to retest in that area. And we're going to see if it's going to follow up with a bullish green candle. We know it's pushing up with a bullish green candle, but we're going to see it may reverse, may or may not. So we got to figure out what's happening at that area after the break and retest of that midpoint line. So we know that price action also breaking another midpoint line of, another resistance line of second level highs. But we know we that near that area of resistance also of that midpoint of that overall high highs and second level highs in that midpoint area. So once we get down lower time frame, we're going to see what's going on. If market drops down from this area, market can be identifying multiple touches to that resistance line, red and green and red, which will be identified as a first, second, third, fourth. Market can be identified as a retest, coming back to return to that resistance line and dropping down from that double top and the retest, or a triple top overall. Zooming in the price, headed down to the weekly time frame. So price action, weekly time frame reading as a bullish green doji, pushed down to the bottom. So it's a doji small weak candle, long wick down to the bottom. So it's retesting that price action retesting the second last candle midpoint. And price action is also consolidating because it's within that second last candle with a little momentum of a push. So that market is creating a wedge pattern, and we'll identify that as we walk down the time frame. We're gonna grab the top of that second to last candle, top of that wick, bring it down right across that price action wick and across that body, more of the wick. And we're going to do the opposite side to the downside, grabbing the second last candle body, little piece of that wick. We're going to bring that market to that wedge. So as we walk down the time frame, also we're going to do is as well, we already have a midpoint there. We're going to thicken up, we're going to make a thicker line for our midpoint. And we can see that that market can be bouncing up and down in that wedge pattern that we just created, up and down overall. But so far the market identified the push up into that wedge pattern, came back to retest. It can consolidate within that top side or maybe the bottom side before the full breakout to the top side or the full breakout to the bottom side. Also on the weekly time frame, you can see that double bottom again, once again, first, second, third, fourth. Okay, market broke up. And the market normally moves in threes. So after the double bottom at the low, we have a first, second, third, fourth. Retest 1, retest 2. We're looking for a retest in this area. Market push up third time. And then once we at that high, we're going to see if it's going to retest again and push for that fourth time. And sometimes that's exhaustion. Sometimes we may see 5. And if so, it's coming from another pattern that's above the W that we did find. Headed down to the daily time frame. So price action daily time frame is reading as a bullish green candle. Second last candle is a bearish red candle, so that market did break and retest within that wedge pattern. So let's read it. So we can see that that market is coming from a pattern. So a lot of patterns in here. So overall, market identified that first, second, third, fourth, so there's a double bottom. Market came back to retest with the third to last candle, that W formation. So we have the break and retest, and the market just consolidated a little bit and had a still push in that area. And also that means that that market did identify that first, second, coming down in red, first, second. So it's a reading as a break and retest, but as we walk down, we'll see a double bottom in this area that's retesting that W. That's on top of that wedge. On the 4-hour time frame, we know that we are in a zone. So we're going to go a little bit above, a little bit below, and we're going to take a look at what's going on in that area. And we can see that what happened is also the market has a gap. So within that W we did find earlier, market pushed up, came back to retest. So when it came back to retest the bottom of that zone, it did create another W of that first, second, third, fourth. Price action is a retest of the second last candle in that area. And we're going to see if it's going to push up further. But that price action candle is reading that it lost momentum to that top side. Market could be coming down for a full retest to the top of that zone, or it could be breaking back down through that zone. Headed down to a 3-hour time frame. Price action, bearish red, push up to the top. So it's a weak candle, doji style. So it's still a doji, just a weak candle, very small. So whenever you see these small candles overall, majority of times they're just weak candles. Sometimes you see wicks up to the top. So with that market identified with this structure here, if you think about it as a resistance line, market spiked up once, market spiked up twice. So it's a double top that's formed. Headed down to a 2-hour time frame, same as well. Markets consolidating with each other. Headed down to the 1, we have the third to last candle has pushed up into that area. Second last candle retest, and we price and second retested, basically still consolidating sideways. 45 minutes, same thing. Third last candle pushed up, second last candle came back to retest. Price action came back to that high and created some momentum to push back down. 30-minute time frame, bearish red candle push up to the top, consolidation. 15-minute time frame, we're seeing that pattern. So you can see that first, second, market coming back down to retest that fourth candle in the market to see if it's going to push up for that W formation. If not, it's coming down from that multiple pushes to the top. Overall, first, second, third, market's coming down, double top. Headed down to the 3. So is this market just retesting the previous areas of that double top? So it's hanging out in the midpoint. So I'll break that down a little more on a lower time frame. Quickly, we have a low, we have a mid, we can see that high area. So market broke into, we're going to see if it's going to break back up. If not, it'll identify the break and retest. Market's coming down. INSP stock.